Portugal for a third of the cost.
Really?
Yeah.
I can believe that.
Oh my God. So everybody knows who you are. Not that you're not notorious.
Who do I want to be today?
No, you can't have my side.
I can be Dick though. Oh, gosh.
I'm here.
Hey, Dick. I don't see you though.
I don't either.
Okay, just a sec. Yeah, I had a little trouble getting in this morning.
No, fine.
I have a Jeffrey Greenberg sign.
Here you go, Dick.
He'd be awesome.
Not as awesome as me.
Doesn't quite understand.
Ready? Can we call the meeting to order? Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mochler,
Here.
Packard,
Here.
Smith,
Here.
Manning,
Here.
Hammond.
Here,
Sound a lot worse than I feel. Know, allergies got the best of me over the weekend.
Oh,
I
yeah.
probably shouldn't have sat outside all day in the wind, but I did.
Any conflict of interest declarations? Hearing none, approve agenda with the addition of medical cannabis license and ordinance discussion.
So
move
moved.
to second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Hammond,
Yes,
Manning,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Packard,
Yes.
Mochler.
Yes, motion passes. Approve minutes.
Move to approve the minutes?
second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Hammond,
Yes,
Manning,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Packard,
Yes.
Mochler.
Yes, motion passes. Are there any visitors to be heard?
Yes.
You're on the agenda, Tom.
Oh, okay.
So since there's no visitors to be heard, Tom T. Hart and Ron Yacht are here with Pleasant Valley Township for resolution 2022-10, replacement order for the organization and incorporation of the Pleasant Valley Township, Clay County, South Dakota. I'm assuming this is just a document that's been misplaced. We need to recreate it. Is that?
Yeah, I looked through all the records I've got. I've got records all the way back to 1881, but I don't have anything about organization or incorporation. And so I called around all the offices, and this is actually, it turns out that the Secretary of State says that out of the 600 plus townships in the state, there's only about a dozen that actually have paperwork in her office, in his office. So this is a very common circumstance. And this document came from Scenic number 7 in Pennington County. So it's just essentially adapting it to Pleasant Valley Township in Clay County.
I'm guessing that you guys won't be the only ones.
Oh, really? So that's the reason.
Well, they got the new ID numbers that say you're done with Broad Street.
Microphone?
All
Oh,
those things in there was when we were incorporated.
he was explaining, since they changed to the new identification numbers,
That's why they need.
they need this resolution.
Excellent. Thank you.
just goes to show you, it's good to check the paperwork once in a while.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2022-10.
Second.
I have a motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Hammond,
Yes.
Manning.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Packard,
yes,
Mochler.
Yes, motion passes. Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Rod, are you ready?
Yep,
So we've got the microsurfacing contract.
yeah, Brad's supposed to be on. I didn't see him yet, but Dick had a question about the insurance and he called me this morning. Brad did and said that's standard procedure. It just means it's good anywhere they go, but I'll let Brad explain it if he's. I don't see him on there, do you?
So we'll,
Not on yet.
so just hold on a minute. We'll do the vouchers.
Okay.
Okay,
Everybody get to see the vouchers?
I'll
Yeah, I
move
move
to-
approval.
oops.
So I've got a motion
I'll do
Yeah,
a
a second.
second.
and a second. Any further discussion?
Yeah, where was the fish seining that we had Image do?
The what? I'm sorry.
What was that, Dick?
The fish seining.
Where,
oh,
what
that,
streams did we do seining on?
is that for IMEG?
Right,
Yes, that's under that bridge on the Ballin Road. We came down and we tried to drain it out. And they couldn't get in there to do it, so they billed us for it. They still got to come down and do it again, and then we're gonna look at, see if there'll be any more billing on it, but that was for that first bridge off of Highway 19 on 306 that we have the big scour hole under. They were down all day, 4 of them, and we tried to pump the water out and they actually had too short of people, actually. They couldn't get any deeper in there, so.
I
So-
see.
So have they not done the work yet, Rod?
Well, they did the first part. But then to actually get to the fish, no.
So
Yeah.
I wonder if we ought then not to pay that bill until they've done the work.
Well, they were there for the whole day and we didn't get it to where they could do it. It was more our fault than theirs. But like I said, when they come down again, here in a few weeks, when we try it again, there'll probably be another bill for that trip too. There was 4 of them there for the whole day, but it wasn't their fault that they didn't get it done.
Okay,
It was our fault. We didn't have enough capacity to pump the water out quick enough.
And it looks like, it looked like it was for a 2-year thing. It was like 21, 22. Is that the
Right.
case that they've already done half of it from last year?
Right, and that's what I mean, when we get it ready to go, then there'll probably still be another bill, but you know, hard to say with the travel gets to be a big issue now with the price of gas, but yeah, that was just part of the bill, so
I guess, yeah, I don't remember the amount now. I don't have that. in front of me.
$1,770, I believe,
Yeah.
so.
So we can decide whether we paid that second bill, I guess, anyway, afterwards.
Yeah. I recommend you pay it anyway. I mean, they were there the whole day. We just didn't do our job. We thought we had it handled. But we didn't, so that was on us.
Well, you've got my second, I guess.
Yep, any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Hammond,
Yes.
Yes.
Smith,
yes.
Packard,
Yes,
Mochler.
Yes, motion passes. We need Brad for the tree removal bids too, correct, Rod?
No,
No, we can,
that was totally on me.
okay,
That was just that 1.5 miles in from the county line to the east.
Oh, so these are we gotta open these bids, don't we?
Yep.
Do we gotta wait in the ditch board then?
Yeah, but we gotta wait till 9:20 to open them.
That's what I was gonna say, yeah.
I'm texting Brad right now, see if he's having trouble. I just talked to him half hour ago, but he is in Gregory, so maybe he's having trouble with.
Can we do the credit card?
That's gonna take a little bit.
Okay.
Or could anyway. Oh, we can accept the second half of the ARPA funding, right?
Yeah, did you get that DocuSign in your email?
I did.
Okay, good.
So we just need a motion to accept the second half so I can sign.
And how much is that for?
A little over 1.3 million.
So I'll move approval.
Second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Hammond,
Yes.
Manning,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Packard,
Yes.
Mochler.
Yes, motion passes.
He said he can't get in. He's having trouble with signal. Do you want me to have him call you?
I guess he can.
Should I have him call Carrie or you?
If he can, Carrie's got the number, he can call into Zoom.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Let me grab that. So if he calls in, Rod, do you want to write this down?
Go ahead.
So 312-626-6799. And then I think he's got to have the meeting ID and passcode. The meeting ID is 868-2330-0209. And then the passcode is 580904.
Okay, yeah, I just told him that phone number was on the invite, but I haven't heard back. I just tried to call him and it went right to voicemail, so apparently he's working on it.
Hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So we've got the microsurfacing contract, Brad.
Yes.
Is there, what do we need to know?
So that's just straightforward. I know there was a question on the insurance certificate, but where it says valid in North Dakota doesn't mean it's invalid in South Dakota. Evidently, North Dakota has a requirement, and they work in a bunch of states. That's the same insurance cert they give to the DOT. So it's all right.
Okay, that, I just noticed that it was North Dakota at the base of the insurance certificate. And thought, well, sure be nice if it was South Dakota, but if there's a good reason for it not to be, that's fine.
Yeah, like I said, because they work in a bunch of states, they make it so that it's compliant in all of them. Now, I have not added that County Line Road yet, but I can't change it on until we have a contract. So I'll do that here as soon as everything is all executed.
And this is the same company we've been using, right, Rod? I mean, Aztec.
Yep. They've done it for the last 3 years, so.
Yeah, they're the only ones we've had microsurfacing do, aren't they?
Yeah, we've had other bids, but they're usually the ones that do everything in this region for DOT and the counties.
Wishes?
Move to accept.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Roll call.
Hammond,
Yes.
Manning,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Packard,
Yes.
Mochler.
Yes, motion passes. Anything else for Brad, for us, Brad?
I don't. If you have anything else for me, and yeah, I'm learning this Zoom. It wouldn't let me come in, but now I know I can call in. Now it'll be easier next time.
And the Altag has finished the flyover for Clay Creek now, so,
We finished the flyover, yes, but the plans we're working on. So
yep, sounds good. Thanks, Brad.
okay, I'm gonna sign off.
And it's 9:20, so move to go into ditch board.
Second.
A motion and a second. Roll call.
Hammond,
Yes.
Manning,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Packard,
Yes.
Mochler.
Yes, we're in ditch board. Now's the time to open the tree removal bids. I've only got one bid. Is that correct, Rod?
Yeah, I just had them take it to the auditor's office, so if that's all there is, that's all there is. Nobody contacted me.
That's all we received.
Okay. This one's from 3D Digging.
I sent it out to 4 of our local guys instead of just 2.
Okay, 3D Digging out of Centerville. Proposed bid for tree removal, $35,000.
Ouch.
There's money in that.
I don't know, that was my next question.
Yeah.
What do we
Yeah,
have in
so-
that ditch board?
And this is for Yankton Clay.
Yankton Clay.
Okay, let me take a look here.
How many miles is it? You know, that they're gonna do?
It's 1.5 miles.
Mile and a half.
Well, it's about, it was always 25,000 on Clay Creek to clean it
Yeah,
out.
that's right.
That. Okay.
Just for a reference point, I was
Yeah.
telling Mike, there's about 25,000 a mile on Clay Creek before. That was before fuel and everything went up.
Yeah.
True.
And these are being shredded, right, Rod?
He wasn't for sure if he's gonna cut them and haul them away,
Okay,
but he knows he has to treat the stumps if he cuts them.
but it can't be dug out.
No, I wanted the root balls left in the bank for stabilization. And nobody wanted it burnt or buried, so he knows that too. It has to be completely gone.
Yankton clay.
You did a nice job before with that shredding tool, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yankton Clay has $16,936.
16,000?
Ouch.
Do you know how much they bring in a year?
Let me look.
And that 16,000 probably already reflects the first half's payment for the year.
I will take a look and make sure.
Wonder if he'd be willing to work with us. Either. Pretty hard for somebody to do that.
He was talking, he wasn't gonna be able to do it till fall anyway. Because of course, by the time we got it let out for bids, they got everything planted over there.
They bring in 27,360 in a year. And let me just check and see if that includes the first.
Do we get anything else that we got money going out in that one?
We shouldn't have,
I don't think so.
because he was the last bill we had on that.
What's that saying with that? Is there a lot of trees in that mile and a half, Rod?
Yeah.
There is.
There's quite a few trees there, right, Rod?
Yeah, there is, and they're big.
That takes a lot of time,
Yeah.
especially if you're gonna try to.
It looks like this doesn't include the first half. Because the first half hasn't been posted in the system yet, so.
So let's table this till the end of till the next meeting. And then we'll know for sure. And Rod, if you want to tell 3D digging, since they're the only bid, if they're wondering about it, we're just waiting to make sure that we're gonna have the money by the end of the year.
Be a good idea.
We lost you, Rod. There you go.
In my back.
Yep.
Yeah, I told him that I'd let him know today how it went anyway, so I will tell him that. And what, we should have an answer by the end of this month?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna make sure that the money's gonna be in there so we can pay him,
Okay,
which I'm sure he'll appreciate.
yeah,
But I don't think anybody has an objection to the bid that we've gotten today, so.
okay, yep, I will pass that along.
Okay. So if you can just put that at the end of the month, Carrie.
Sure.
I got one thing on the Prairie Center ditch.
Okay.
We're in ditch board. Tim came, Greg Wire came and cleaned probably the first mile and a half, 2 miles of it. And then he's gonna come back in the fall and do the rest. He actually was there, he burned the rest of the ditch. They
Oh.
burned it while they were there. Worked pretty good, because they had the excavator there and he had a torch and he just burned down along. So he couldn't clean it without it, because the cattails are so bad. But I asked him if he wanted any money and he said, no, not this time.
Okay.
So I was fine with that. He did a good job. Looked like it was really, did a nice job.
Who was that did it again?
Greg Wire,
Thank
Tim
you.
Greg Wire.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anybody have anything else for ditch board? I'll entertain a motion to come out.
So move.
Second,
I have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Hammond,
Yes.
Manning.
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Packard,
yes.
Mochler.
Yes, we're in regular session. Drew stepped out, didn't he? Did he? You want me to call him? Okay, sounds good.
As long as we got a minute, I got an update on the BDCD board. Nate Welch is, we decided to go a different direction. So Nate Welch is no longer the CEO of the BDCD. And as of, I think, the number 2 in charge over there is Nancy. I can't tell you her last name. She's going to do it on an interim basis, and then we're going to look for a new CEO. That was effective yesterday. Some of you probably already seen it, but probably better let you know.
So now the search begins.
Yeah, I don't know if she'll apply for the job or not. I don't really know her. I've only, I think
This
met
is
her.
Nancy with the short gray hair.
I think so, but I don't want to say that.
Starts with an H, her last name. right?
Yeah,
can't
but
think of it.
I don't know her, you know.
Is she new to town?
She's been here for a while, I think.
Okay. Not the president.
You know, they were moving people around a lot over there, so it's hard to keep up sometimes, but she was actually like the office manager. She never really, I mean, I didn't see her a lot of things because it's usually Brittany DeYoung or Melissa. I don't know what Melissa's last name is for sure.
Nancy Harridge.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Nope.
Seemed like she's very nice from what I understand.
So Drew wants to talk. It's on. Drew wants to talk to us about the medical cannabis license and ordinance.
So on the 31st, medical marijuana zoning ordinance is coming back.
Is your mic on?
That better? That better?
Some.
Yeah.
This better this time?
Much.
Okay. On the 31st, we're having this is the first reading or second reading? It must be the first reading of the medical marijuana zoning ordinance. As part of doing that medical marijuana zoning ordinance, I'd like to get the license ordinance redone. We did it in a rush last time. And there's sections I got to take out anyway, like the zoning guidelines. I have copies here for you. And I'll email the board members that aren't here copies. But here's,
Okay, thanks.
yeah. And I didn't really have a planning and zoning board to run this through before anybody really looked at it. So if you guys would like to take a look at it and see if anything we can change or update, modify, because we are going to have the one manufacturing possibly coming through. So before we do that, just have everybody take a look at it. I'm going to work on a draft. I know Sam's been looking at it. Another once over.
So is this the
current
one from,
license.
this is the current license?
Yep.
Does it have your proposed changes in it or no?
nothing, no.
Okay.
The only proposed change I have right now is removing the zoning guidelines. And as I was sitting here listening, I came up with a couple other little things.
So that zoning guidelines, you were gonna remove that,
Yeah,
the whole thing?
yep, because we'll have the zoning. We'll have the zoning ordinance
Oh, okay.
in
yeah.
place to replace it. So that was kind of a cheat I did. I don't know if that even would work. Like I said, we did it in a rush.
We got by.
Yeah,
So the ordinance part or the zoning will be in the zoning book and this will just be a separate license.
Okay,
I'll put page numbers on these before I send them out. But on the section 11, C and D, I want to make sure that language is in the zoning ordinance. Those two requirements or something equivalent to them.
You said section 11.
Yep. C and D. No cannabis establishment may convert from one cannabis establishment to another type without first obtaining the conditional use permit, and then a county conditional use permit is required. Maybe conditional on obtaining the county and state license. So then they're not, then we don't hold that one license in limbo for a year.
So what did you want to do with C and D?
Maybe bring those over into the zoning ordinance
Okay,
or leave them in the license, put them somewhere else.
so we can have it in both places, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to keep that in there. So.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Don't throw that whole section out. I think there's. at least-
Correct. But as long as it's still part of both,
Yes.
just to double up, just so they know that.
Yep. And then, the renewal. I want to look at what other communities are doing.
No, hey, Drew, on that same page though,
Yeah.
there's 2 Section 11s.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And then on the renewals, I think, yeah, section 14. Every year we'll have them come in and do another renewal. I'm assuming like the liquor licenses, I've never been involved in that. And I just wondered, is it too onerous, this renewal process? Or is it too, we have too many requirements in here? Is it something we can slim down and make easier, or do we want to keep it the way it is?
For the renewal process?
Yeah,
Is there anything in here on renewal?
No, I don't.
Section 14 is suspension. of renewals.
where's the renewals? It's in renewal, sorry, it's under section C on,
Oh, there it is.
yep,
It's
where is
toward, from the front, it's like the 5th page. Section 5C.
yeah, sorry about that, section C, it's got,
Renewal process, okay.
yeah.
So you kind of want to see what other people are doing and then,
Yeah,
okay,
do we have to do it every year? Questions like that,
We're gonna treat it like the liquor license.
yeah.
so. And then, because they'll have to renew that fee every year. So it'll
Yep.
just be at the same time. Plus, we'd like to know, well, I guess if they don't pay the fee, we'll know that it's expired.
expired and, yeah,
It's also gathering any reports, positive, negative.
Yeah. The liquor license ones are,
no,
if
yeah,
Andy doesn't say that we've had complaints and problems, it just gets renewed.
Yeah, and probably we should have a date certain that fees got to be received in order to continue the license.
Yeah, it's like at least 45 days, but not more than 90
90, yep.
days before the expiration. So the date will be different for everybody. Based on when they got their first license.
yeah.
And is that something, not to make it more difficult, is that something we should make, just say we have 5 licenses in the county? Should we make them a certain day of the year? I mean, if we get one that's like 6 months, we could prorate it, but that way they would all come due at the same time. Would that make it easier?
that could.
So we could just say, okay, in July or January 1st, whatever they would like to do, whatever we decide, these are when those licenses are due.
I
That's
think
what we
that's
do
a
with liquor
good idea.
licenses.
Yeah. that kind of
I like
fun.
that.
Yeah.
And then, even doing it at the beginning of our fiscal year. So that the first day of the fiscal year is when the license money comes in and.
Well,
But-
if we really want to treat it right, I don't think we have so much to do that first meeting that it could, I feel it should be a different meeting than the first meeting to be approval
Correct.
correctly.
When do we do the liquor license ones? Is that April?
November.
Oh, November.
That's a good time.
You can do them all at the same time.
Yeah, it's just gonna be one-time thing, so.
Yeah. Good. And then the number of licenses was the last thing. We just did one manufacturing and one
Dispensary.
dispensary, because we had to do one dispensary for legal. Now potentially we're gonna have one cultivation. A month ago, 2 months ago, I would have said, let's maybe do a couple more cultivations. I don't think so right now. I'm not, a lot of the interest has died off last couple months, so we only got the one, John Peterson's. Doesn't
Yes,
seem like
that-
anybody else.
That might that may be because of us too, only having a few licenses available.
Sure.
Could be once we change it, we could have more interest.
You know, there is, you know, in terms of success rate of establishments, all three types, all but testing, right? Those establishments, people who are in early in other states have been the most successful. And so in some sense, by limiting licenses, we're limiting the number of people who are in the business early and gain market share. And that's, you know, that's been true in states like California and Colorado. So yeah, I mean, we do limit ourselves, I think, severely if we only allow one license. I mean, we're an agricultural county, and this is a very high profit, you know, commodity. So and the rest of the state, I mean, a lot of parts of the state are behind us. I think Vermillion has really decided that they, you know, as a city, want to be in the forefront. They want their people to get big market share. A lot of smaller communities are just, you know, they're doing the bare minimum. But, you know, because Vermillion is being fairly aggressive about market share and making everything possible. I think particularly cultivation. I think we ought to think about expanding the number of licenses.
Are we thinking, 2, 5?
I'm thinking 3. And can we do it in all the licenses? We do have approval process over the licenses, correct? Once they apply.
Yep.
So I would say 3 opens it up to what Betty is saying and doesn't go overboard to where we're not able to keep control or keep regulations as we want.
I was thinking more in terms of 5, but since we're into the process a little while, since they can legally go state-wise, so, but 3 would be okay too.
Yeah, I would support 5. I could live with 3. Again, I'm just thinking that we are an agricultural county and this is a high profit commodity.
3. So we're in that 3 to 5 range for cultivation. Any of the other ones we want to do anything with? I don't think dispensaries, especially in the county, we're going to have a lot of.
I think Vermillion's going to do a good job on that. And I know that there's already one in the city that's been permitted. And I think they're doing cultivation, manufacturing and sales, all 3. And it's a pretty large group of investors and they are ready to go. And I think there'll be additional dispensaries
Good.
in town as well.
So just kind of focus on the cultivation part.
Yeah, and I think when you add manufacturing capacity to cultivators, you actually, it's a value added agriculture, right? I mean, if you could not only grow it, but. you
But it's
can
not
also-
though. It's not ag.
No, but I understand.
It's-
tech-
it's not.
I understand it's technically not ag, but I guess I'm making an analogy,
Yeah.
right? That if you're able to not only grow it, but also make something out of it, it's got a way higher profit
yeah.
margin. And so I think to have the same number of manufacturing licenses as growing licenses makes some sense.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be talking about this again after the November election, depending on what happens there. Your
When-
renewed interest will
What's that?
come back. Your renewed interest will come back.
Yeah, yeah.
Or,
And, yeah,
depending on how the election goes.
Yeah.
When I was in Tucson, I actually had a dinner with a guy that owns a Start to Stop process. He's got a real nice dispensary downtown Tucson. He also has he performs all 4 of the functions that we do under our licensing scheme. And so I got to tour his dispensary at least, not the other parts. They don't let any just old Joe from the Midwest into all of those. But he thought that the situation he had, where he had complete control from the start to the finish of the product of medical marijuana, was an advantage to him, both as a producer and to the regulators and to the consumers, because there was when there's something that goes wrong, it's you don't end up with 4 people standing in a circle, each pointing to the left, go, it's his fault. And I in general, I agree with that philosophy. So it was a pretty good deal. It just happened by chance. The guy it's actually a family that owns this medical marijuana operation, is a family operation. Happened to be someone that my son worked with in a different industry back in Los Angeles. And they have, this guy's got both operations in California and in Tucson now. So it was quite a eye-opening little tour that I got.
So are you recommending that the dispensary license be more than one? I think it should be more than one, but.
Yeah, I think so too. It could be that 3 would be a good compromise for us now. We could always bump it up. It's easier to bump them up than down, I think.
So do we want three grow or 3 cultivations, 3 dispensaries, 3 manufacturing? Is that what I'm understanding? Okay. So, I mean, we don't have to decide. We can't vote on it today anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Right,
just discussion
right.
of what we want in there. So,
Just it's just from that one tour that I had there, that kind of led me to think that we should be thinking along those terms, both for our purposes and for the purposes of their potential customers and regulating them. It may be good to have at least have the option for someone to have a Start to Stop operation.
Right now, John Peterson's got cultivation,
he's applying, or going
Applying.
to.
He may apply for a,
may apply for cultivation. What about, has he talked about anything about manufacturing?
well, his hemp operation.
Right.
The hemp.
But as far
grinder.
as medicinal marijuana,
I don't think so. Not that I've heard.
And then he's in the dispensary area that we got, this Clay County is not John. right?
No, I don't have anybody talking
don't have
about
any-
dispensary. No,
Makes
but,
sense. Because there's 2 there's one's already been approved in the city, and another one that's applied. That's the only ones I know. Do you know of any more? I just know the 2. So, yeah, okay.
And even if somebody came in and wanted the cultivation manufacturing, because testing can't be on site. Correct?
Right.
That's
It says- okay.
separate.
It was in some drafts and then out of others, but I didn't know if it was out
Yeah,
completely.
I think it's the statute that says that testing has to be independent.
Okay.
So that one person, if they wanted what did you call it, Dick? A start to stop?
Yeah, start to finish operation. It
They
could
would
be,
still need 3 licenses
yeah, you would
to
still
operate
need to,
that.
correct, but, and I could envision a situation where they have the grow and manufacturing licenses in the county and in a dispensary in Vermillion. You know, it could be an operation like that.
Yep.
I don't know that there would need to be a lot of cooperation between the county regulations and the city. They'd have to, of course, finger, but they could be largely independent, I would think. But a
Yeah.
single operation would still gain from that. What do they call it? Cradle to grave, I guess is the bureaucratic word for the
Not
type
a
of
good way to
thing
put
we're
it.
talking about.
For medical marijuana.
You know, and land is cheaper for the most part in rural parts of the county, and that's gonna, I think make cultivation more attractive outside the city than it
Land,
is.
utilities, water, yeah,
Mhm.
there's a lot.
I think if you give people, if you have 3, I think you're fine. I don't think there's gonna be. I don't see a big rush to cultivate it. I mean, personally, we're not geared for that in Clay County. Most people are geared to corn and beans. I mean, seriously.
Well,
And I don't know how much labor intensity it is.
Yeah, but what
That's the
happens is
difference.
it actually brings, it brings cultivators in, it creates jobs,
I'm not saying it
yeah.
doesn't, but I'm just saying
it creates
Is that-
tax base.
we're not geared to along that line yet.
Right,
Might take a while.
but I
So
think,
it-
I think I mean, one of the things it does is it increases land values in the county because people come in and they want to buy land to build these plants and.
In general, though, I think that land requirements even for grow are kind of small, you know, it's pretty important for these guys to control their genetics of their product. So it's almost always going to be under a roof within an enclosed building.
Yeah,
And
state
so
law.
the amount of land required is going to be pretty small. And this family in Arizona, the wife runs the grow operation and the husband runs the other parts. And I think she said she had something like 70 employees in the grower operation.
So it must be labor intensive.
well, there's no mechanical picking.
No, I don't.
I think the startup costs are real high too, and I think there would have been a lot more interest if we didn't have the economic troubles that we're having right now
Right.
either. I think that probably put a lot of water on that fire, so.
So I guess I'm good with 3. I mean, I think that's a good start.
It brings in capital. You know, it brings in capital and it
Yeah.
creates jobs and it's,
Any other things you need, Drew?
That is it. That is it. Unless, Sam, did you have any? Good. That's all I got.
It's true.
Credit card discussion. This needs to be executive session.
Move to go into executive session for
Credit card discussion.
It's credit card discussion.
Credit card
Second.
contracts.
Contract.
That was the second, Dick?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Roll call.
Hammond,
Yes.
Manning,
Yes.
Smith,
yes.
Packard,
Yes.
Mochler.
Yes, we're in executive session.
Okay. People to the waiting room here. There we go.
Move to come out of executive session.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Hammond,
Yes.
Manning.
Yes.
Smith,
Yes,
Packard,
Yes,
Mochler.
Yes, we're in regular session.
Sam, do you want to open the door?
Oh, I think we've got it. We got through everything. Does anybody have anything else? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
move to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Hammond,
Yes.
Manning,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Packard,
yes.
Mochler.
Yes, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Have a good week.